Oh yes, what a relief. We've reached the end of another year, and what better way to let off a bit of steam than by having a massive ranking session together. And my partner in ranking crime, as per usual, is the massive ranker himself. Experienced ranker.
Ranker number 1 and ranker number 2.
Locke. And of course, I am Kai, the other ranker. Anyway, continuing on from last year's trend of ranking in a trendy way, this year at the top, we're going to have Awesome. Then second is Sigma.
Sigma.
Not the lens brand. In the mid is Mid. Get, bruh.
Yes, bro.
And then below that is 6-7.
6-7. I'm surprised.
So even you know that?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's still in trend.
It deserves to be at the bottom. I can't even look at Pentax 6-7 now and not shudder at the thought of it. Sakir Starmer did that thing in primary school. In fact, when we do it like that, we'll start off with small sensor compact cameras.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I'm still surprised Canon is releasing the PowerShot.
Yeah, I was going to say,
HSA.
how small you are not thinking of.
Well, that's small.
It's proper compact camera.
Yeah.
Back from the dead.
Or just utilising parts from the warehouse that they can't get rid of.
PowerShot 360 HSA. It is a camera originally from when? Forgot. But I guess they always have this kind of camera. This is for.
But let's not spend too much time on this because this is quite boring.
Yeah.
So let's rank fast for small. How would you rank?
I forgot how to pronounce it.
Which one? Gyatbra.
Huh?
Gyatbra.
It sounds like
Gyat.
Russian or something.
You can do compact cameras which are interesting. PowerShot V1, which we both took a look at.
Pretty interesting.
It's almost micro four third sensor, isn't it?
Sigma.
No need to talk about it. Sigma. They out ZV1'd the ZV1. They gave a lens which is wider. You don't need the electronic stabilization, and it's a bigger sensor. I agree with you, it's Sigma.
There you go.
I mean, now we go from compact cameras that package bigger sensors into the compact camera body to compact cameras that still have the smaller sensors, but they package that as half frame style.
At first you were like, what is half about it? It's a digital sensor. How do you do half? And then the hardware is actually quite
Basic?
basic, yeah. But after I thought about it, it could be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the cheapest way. It could be the cheapest way to play with the Fujifilm film simulation.
Yeah.
But then the problem is the price.
But they've recently cut the price, at least in the UK. It was £700, now it's
Yeah.
£500.
Still.
Can we put affiliate links down there?
Because that reminds me of, do you remember, it was an iPhone app called Hipstermatic.
Yeah.
Because back then, iPhone camera was still quite bad. But with the Hipstermatic, it got all the filters, and then suddenly they turn a crappy picture into quite cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the X-Carb could be that, but it's too expensive.
Let's hear your ranking for it then.
Mid?
You know what? I'll give them Sigma. Just
Really?
because they're trying to do something different. Trying something fun. And I'll give them Sigma for that.
Keep it there
Let's
for
keep it
now.
in between Mid and Sigma. What do you think?
Out it again.
Please rank all over the place. Mid or Sigma. Let's move on to the Yashica FXD 100 and 300. I feel really sad whenever I see something like this from Yashica because Yashica has got a long history and they used to do good things. So this feels like it's an uncle that you used to have fun with and you know, play with, and then it turns out he's a paedophile.
It's not that bad, right?
I'm dropping my fish all over the place.
They didn't do anything wrong.
Can I just say Yashica, not paedophiles? I'm not implying that.
Beam. Yes, it's not pedophile.
They made a compact camera. This is a compact camera that tries to look like an SLR. You look on the back, there's no viewfinder.
It's a badge. On where is the viewfinder?
This is utter camera rankery right here.
6-7.
No, we're not saying that lot. We're doing this, aren't we? Let's end that category by doing the small sensor compact camera ranker of the year 2025. Which one is the ultimate ranker?
There's not too many of them. It had to has to be PowerShot V1.
Okay, there we are. I agree with that. V1, you are the rank of the year. Okay, anyway, so that's that. Moving on to, unsurprisingly, the big sensor compact camera. Like a Q monochrome, mid. All right, moving on. What, you agree with that? Oh my God.
GFX 100 RF.
None of us got hands-on with that.
No.
Right?
But it's cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
It's cool.
It's an X100 with a bigger sensor.
It reminds me of those Fujifilm
Yes.
GF67, 645. Mamiya 6, Mamiya 7.
6.
Feels like that. Like it almost square, and for that huge sensor or huge film, it's kind of compact.
So it will never have the same mass appeal as the X100, but it is, I would say, awesome.
I have to be agree with that. New merch down there.
New merch.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, Locke has designed some cool new merch. Check it out down below.
The M645 color series.
It's a 645 camera.
Yeah, with
Colourful-
different color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's another one which we can't name the camera.
The backlight illuminated back buttons. That's really cool.
Yeah, so something exciting for the new year. So check that out.
Please.
Next, GR4 from Ricoh. Better focusing, better battery, internal storage. In normal terms, this would be most mid, but because Ricoh GR is just one of the coolest cameras ever made,
It is.
it is Sigma, bruh. And we're talking about these fixed lens compact cameras with big sensors.
Yeah.
I think we have to mention the Sony RX1R3. Yeah, you can get a 7C-R for cheaper. It's just a better sensor. They've got the new AF algorithms, but it's the same lens. So I would say that's mid. And you know what? I scrapped that, not mid. I will give it Sigma just because it's like one of the classics.
I would just give it Sigma just because it is a full frame camera it's so small.
I would say, yeah, let's do Sigma. Sony's good with Sigma anyway.
I just love this large sensor compact. So what's the big sensor, the rank of the year?
The slightly bigger sensor compact camera ranker of the year 2025 is...
GFX
Yes,
100
I agree.
RF.
There you go, well done. And moving on to mid-range mirrorless cameras. Now, it's mid-range, not entry-level or
More
low
interesting.
range. Because sometimes I say entry-level. No, what?
You call that entry level?
Yeah. The XT33 is not overly exciting, is it? It's basically an XM5 with an EVF. I quite like the XM5, so therefore I like the XT33. Mid. Yeah, I would say mid. Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on to another Fujifilm, XE5.
XE5. And then they just released a small pancake lens as well. It's that 23 pancake lens. You put that on, it's basically X100 just without the viewfinder.
And it looks good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Like, I mean, if you think about the XT33 and the XM5, it's all right looking, but the XE5 is sexy 5. That's what it should be called. It is a very nice looking camera. And therefore, Sigma, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
It's silver, it's shiny, it's cool looking. And moving on to something that's not shiny and all that cool looking is the Canon EOS R50V.
Oh,
A very functional black body.
but it looks better than the R50.
Yeah,
Metal body, it just cool better.
dissipates the
and,
heat better.
Yeah. And then R50 have more limited video function.
But it's boring as hell.
Yeah, it would be useful. It would be a useful camera. It's just not exciting.
I would say it's a mid-get.
Mid-gap.
It's bordering on the get. After that bit of boring blandness, we're going back to something shiny in the Sigma BF.
Sigma BF. You got one?
I bought one, yeah.
Do you still have it?
I still have it. Sigma BF, I bought it, cut my fingers, and I don't use it. When you've got a lens attached and you're holding it in your hand, it's just not very comfortable after like 10 minutes. I don't use it, but it is still one of the coolest things ever. So I would say awesome.
What?
I know Sigma should get a Sigma.
Yeah.
This is the Sigma that is even better than Sigma.
I don't think it's that good or awesome. I think it's Sigma. Let's say in between.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. The Sigma BF is kind of interesting because it's not all that different, surely, tech-wise, to Panasonic Lumix S9. And if we're talking about repackaging the S9 titanium gold this year.
It's just a new color.
Yeah, but it's really cool.
It's not a new camera.
No.
We were talking about end of the year, camera of this year.
Well, let's have a new category just for the which one is the most titanium gold like. I would give that the titanium gold award of the year. I guess you don't want to rank that. So the OM system, they released 2 cameras.
Yeah. OM3.
But the
I thought it's a film camera.
But the OM5 II, the most interesting thing about that is that it's available in beige.
Like,
You haven't
really?
seen it?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What?
If they called it desert sand,
Yeah.
they call it beige.
I mean, usually you would say, electric blue,
Desert sand.
jet black.
Yeah. Sandstorm.
Yeah, beige.
Well, I think that's awesome. The beige one.
What?
They call it beige, and that's what's so cool about it.
What's wrong with you? Who are you? Who are you? Just because they put a boring color on it, now it's cool.
It's so boring, it's cool. It's the same colour as your jacket, so I don't know why you don't like it.
Because this is a jacket, and that's a camera.
What would you give that then?
Mid, just because it's supposed to work well as a camera.
I don't care how it works as a camera, it's beige.
Come from somebody who bought a Sigma BF and never used it.
I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please do chime in on what you think. I think it's top tier, it's awesome.
Let's move on.
Let's calm down with a bit of Z5 II from Nikon.
For that price of camera, you don't get dual card slot other than Nikon Z5 Mark II.
In RAW, internal?
Yeah. You probably don't need that. I just happy about the dual card slot. I like to put all my eggs into 2 baskets. And in my video, I said that I would be happy to just have this camera for everything.
Life. I think it just took everything up to a level which is enough for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Sigma. It's better than mid.
I struggle to put a camera in Sigma. I struggle to put a camera in Sigma based on it being dual card slots.
Based
and
on
and I'm laughing because I just put a beige camera in. It's awesome.
See?
Okay, let's put it in a Sigma then. Let's just let me put the beige. Let me put the beige camera in awesome, and you can have this in Sigma. Oh my god. Oh dear. Okay.
Oh dear.
Now I need to recompose myself. So, the mid-range mirrorless camera ranker of the year 2025 award goes to.
Difficult.
Well, not beige.
Z5 Mark II.
No, go on then. Yeah.
Slightly boring, but it's just
You could say it's beige.
such a good camera.
So, moving on to the last category, most prestigious award. It is the high-end mirrorless camera. Starting off with Leica MEV1. You were quite offended by this. I was surprised that you found this as offensive as holding a lav mic.
Second thing that annoyed me today. But also, after a while, after I think about it, it makes sense. in a
So it's
way.
not as offensive as holding a mic.
No, that doesn't make sense. But then you find it really difficult to focus.
Well,
It's more difficult than rangefinder Leica M.
it's the focusing aids they provided was not
Yeah.
very good. And they just need to work on that.
Yeah.
They just need to add that in firmware.
Actually, nobody had nobody make one that actually works well.
Fujifilm.
No, I mean it's not the same as actual manual camera with a focusing screen. Those are really easy to use.
Yeah. It's not as quick, no.
No, not yeah.
Imagine if Leica could make a focusing aid, which is just better than anything else on the market.
Yeah.
That would
Make
change
more
your-
sense. Yeah, that would make more sense.
So I think it's potentially awesome, but for now I'd say Sigma.
I would say Sigma.
Okay. And going from one brand that is steeped in history to another brand, Hasselblad X2D 2. Same thing, phase detection.
It's an upgrade. I mean, well, would you put a awesome on it? Just an upgrade.
Now here's the thing, would you go for 907X, no phase detection, or would you go for X2D 2 phase detection?
None of those. But if you, if I have to choose, CV, what's it called again? Our CV
907X.
907X. Yeah, it's just beautiful.
It is cool.
It's just so beautiful.
It is. Okay. FX2 is the same tech as the A7C II, essentially. Same tech as the A7 IV, not 5, with a viewfinder that does that.
Sigma.
What? How's that Sigma? That's more surprising.
Why is it so bad?
Just get an A7C II and don't shoot in the heat. And don't twist the viewfinder up like that.
What do we put A7C2?
Own one. So I'm chief ranker of the A7C II. I think the A7C II is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's affordable.
So Sigma?
Yeah.
So this is the same.
No.
But it's not mid.
Please leave your ranks down below. I don't think we can agree on this. Okay, between mid and Sigma and closer to mid. Unbelievable. I mean, where are you going to put a C50 then? It's going to be like awesome now, right?
Yeah, 40 FPS burst. That's ridiculous on a cinema camera.
Yeah.
It's just no IBIS. Because they probably try to make it as small as possible with cooling fan. But because of that, can't be awesome.
It's a Sigma. S1R2.
Cheapest full frame 8K camera, mirrorless.
Oh, okay. No.
No what?
I would say mid.
Yeah, I would agree mid.
Okay, moving on to S12,
S1 too.
because you use this now.
Yeah. Too cool.
I think it's a cool camera.
It's just a bit expensive. It do 70 FPS, full frame raw, but also the buffer empty in like 2 seconds. So, but now they have a new firmware that you can do 30 FPS.
So I would say Sigma for this one too. I think it's.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's great.
Yeah. It's just lacking on the AF. For now, it's working fine, but I mean the AF tracking. The subject recognition is good. It's just the AF tracking. It still do that weird thing that you point to something, you half press, the point is just jump. You point it again to jump to somewhere else.
So now moving on, Nikon ZR.
Awesome.
I think it's awesome.
Awesome.
It's not perfect.
No.
I've tried using it, and the micro SD is a little bit inconvenient.
Yeah. Micro SD.
Getting it out.
Why?
Do you need to shoot raw?
Not for many people.
But they've done the whole red thing, and it's like, yeah, come on.
And it's small.
Yep.
It's almost as small as the S9. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
And then the interface is so good. Huge screen.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. After that, it wasn't long before Canon introduced the R6 Mark III. This is essentially a C50 in a still hybrid body.
Yeah.
So this should be a Sigma, right? But the only thing is, all the competitors out, it doesn't have partially stacked sensor.
But it's still doing pretty well. I mean, it still does 40 FPS. I don't know how they did it. They can't even only do 30 FPS with a partially stacked sensor. They do 40. Like, how did they do that? And also, I find out the rolling shutter is actually similar to A7 V. In some aspect, actually even better.
Okay, yeah, well, I think that's Sigma then.
Yeah.
That brings us to the last camera of the year. The Sony a7 V, 33 megapixel partially stacked sensor, unlike ZR, Z6 III, S1 II, they're 24 megapixels, right?
Yeah.
Only 4K, not open gate, not as fast readout as ZR.
Yeah.
Burst not as fast compared to rivals.
It's a little bit predictable.
I think that's the trouble with Sony, is that I wish they were a bit more Sony.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we don't need to.
We've got lenses. You're going to come to us anyway.
We are Sony.
And for that reason,
I admit.
and in which case I'd put FX2 and Gapra.
In fact, the partially stacked sensor they actually have dual gain output. So it's actually quite an innovative thing that now there is not a jump on between low and high base ISO. It's just a flat. But then because it's not new anymore, it's except S1 Mark to have it.
Let's wrap this up. The massive sensor, high-end mirrorless camera ranker, award of the year 2025 award goes to...
ZR?
Yeah, I agree.
Quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's a cinema camera. And by the way, you can take pictures with it.
Yeah, I think it's a great stills camera because the screen's massive.
Small camera body, you put a pancake lens on it, it's a street camera.
Yeah, it's a cool looking one as well.
Yeah.
Would you say that is the ultimate ranker camera of the year? I think in my mind, that sticks out the most.
It is.
If somebody said, name a camera that came out in 2025, I'd probably say ZR.
Yeah, the most surprising.
Most surprising.
In a good way.
Yeah. And a big bold statement.
Yeah.
There we are, Nikon ZR. You are the ranker of the year. Prestigious award. We'll leave it in your office when we produce it. There we are. Oh yes.
We totally forgot about talking about a new merch. This is suddenly added into the front. It's like, oh,
jump to the end.
Oh.
Merry whatever. Happy New Year. Sign off the New Year with some massive fireworks and a jolly good rank. Thanks for watching again. Please subscribe. Subscribe to Lock.
Check out our merch again.
Yes, check out the merch again. Thanks for watching as always. It's a pleasure having you. I know, it sounds weird saying that actually.
Let's hope for another good year as well. Yes. Let's hope there's many more new cameras in 2026. Let's hope that all the brands haven't already broke their low on 2025.